Okay, so welcome again to the Awaken Your Intuition guided channeled healing meditation. And we're going to start with some grounding today. We're going to also focus on cleansing and clearing your energy field because this is super important. So you're getting clean information coming to you. And then the most fun part, we're going to work on some activation of your clairs, your intuitive channels. And then we're also going to see what comes through in terms of energy healing activations from probably Archangel Chamuel, who I have gotten most of my energy healing training, remembering, if you will, from. So that's the plan for today. First, I want to just briefly touch on each of these topics so that you may have a deep understanding of these topics. You may have heard the words and go like, I hear people using them, but I don't really know what they mean. You may have a basic understanding, and maybe this will give you some information to go deeper. So we're going to spend like the first 20 or so minutes on that, and then we will do a good probably 30-minute meditation, and then I will leave some time open for questions as well if you guys have them. So first, I always like to start with oils. If you know me, I love my oils. So vetiver is a great oil for grounding. It is the oil of centering and descent. My vetiver is really sticky. I don't know if they're all like this, but it smells really delightful. I love to use vetiver on my base of my spine, essentially, because it's really helpful for grounding us into the world. You can also use this on the soles of your feet if you feel called, but that's a really great one for grounding, and it just smells very, I don't know, earthly and delightful. Then I love clary sage, which is the oil of clarity and vision. And this one helps to clarify your spiritual vision. So if you are actively working on opening up your intuitive channels, then using clary sage is a really phenomenal oil. So you can use this one on your forehead or kind of behind your ears. That's going to hit like the meridian channels that connect to the pineal gland or the third eye. To help activate those channels. I usually use clary sage on my throat chakra when I do readings. Don't ask me why, it's just what I do. It's what I've been guided to, feels right, so I do it. So don't feel like you have to be locked into the right way to use these oils, just use them. Put them on yourself, smell them, diffuse them, just get them going. And then frankincense is the oil of truth, which helps you recall the spiritual gifts that your higher self or your soul has brought into this lifetime. So it's the oil of truth, but for me, it's also really the oil of remembering. And this one you can use on the crown of your head, like your crown chakra area, third eye, and also you can use this one behind your ears. If I could have one and only one oil, it would be frankincense. This is absolutely my favorite oil, and I use it like almost daily. Okay, so these oils help me get in my body. They help put me in a little bit higher vibration because they smell so good. They give a ritual. Ritual is really important in channeling and doing intuitive work because you want to get your energetic space ready. You want to get your body ready to activate these channels and to turn them on. So if you've worked with me, you know that anytime I do a reading, an emotion code, an energy healing, anything, I always get my frankincense and clary sage oils out. And I have this little ritual where I put these oils on, I ground myself, I run energy through my systems, and I connect through my chakras and my field. I clear my field and I connect to the person I'm working with, or the person I'm working, who's working on behalf of the person. So if it's someone's child, right, I'm connecting to that child on behalf of the parent that's there. So this ritual is very important because it tells your body, let's get ready to turn on those parts of the brain that have been asleep all day or that you haven't used since last week. So ritual is really cool. And you can do ritual in any way you want. I used to do lemongrass spritz around the room. I had like a cleansing Palo Santo spray I would spritz around at times. You can use certain crystals. Whatever feels like enjoyable to you is a great way to create a little ritual around getting ready to activate and turn on these channels. So once you kind of complete your ritual and you get yourself ready, The first thing I like to do is get grounded. Before I even set an intention, before I do anything, is get grounded. Because sometimes we come into a space with an intention, but then the information that comes in is going to drive you in a different direction. So sometimes people laugh when I host these workshops. Oftentimes I just get a ping and I go like, ping, that's the idea. This is what we're doing. And I email Eileen, or I go, write this all down for me. And I just go like, this is what we're doing. I just let it come in very organically and very naturally. And I don't do a lot of planning or go back and try to control it in any way. So I kind of come up with an idea, and I set like 3 or 4 agenda points so that people at least know what they're signing up for, right? So you're not just like, what is this? And then, but within that framework, I typically don't do a lot of preparation. I just allow, and this is the most delightful part about getting your intuition really online. You don't have to do a lot of work. Like I literally at 4:05 or 4:10 was like, okay, I'm going to sit down and now see what's coming through for this meditation. And I kind of ideas pop in, and like it'll hit me as I'm going to sleep or I'm waking up in the morning. But I'm not doing a ton of preparation because I'm allowing this to happen organically. And this is the biggest benefit of being really connected to your intuition, is that you don't have to do a lot. You don't have to plan a lot. You don't have to work so hard and force and control things. You can just be in the flow. So that doesn't mean I don't have a lot of structure in my life and I don't have systems and processes in place in my business, right? Because there's got to be that balance of the masculine and feminine. But when I'm doing intuitive work, it's it's in the feminine energy for me. And so that just allows you to be in the moment, which is delightful. And I would like more being in the moment and less doing in my life. So yes, so I don't do a ton of preparation, and some people are like, oh my gosh, how do you get on here and just go? And it's because all of it is channeled. All of it is what spirit has been feeding to me for years, for decades, really, right? For my whole life. And it's remembering the truth that's within me. So oftentimes I get into these workshops or I get into a reading with someone and the information is sometimes flowing so fast. I have to be like, whoa, hey, slow down a little bit because I can't get it out that fast. And it always feels effortless, and I always run over on time because I'm so in the moment. I'm not thinking or worrying about anything else. And I also set it up that way, right? So that I don't have any distractions. I come in grounded. I come in with a clean energy field so that as soon as I hit play, I hit start on that Zoom call, like I'm in the energy already. I've come prepared. So it's a fun part of living in your intuition. So the first thing we're going to do is ground, and grounding is critical because if you are ungrounded, you start to feel scattered. You start to feel disconnected from your body, disconnected from the earth, disconnected from the present moment. And so grounding holds you on the earth. It holds you in your body. And in order to channel or to access your intuition, you have to be grounded on the earth plane. So the higher you want to go into the spiritual or astral realms, the more deeply you have to be grounded, because it's a balance, right? If you just try to go up, what are you reaching for? Where's your balance point, right? A tree can only grow as high as its roots are deep. If you just try to grow up, you're going to tip over and you're not going to get very far. So grow your roots really deep so you can reach high and then branch out wide with however you're meant to share this information, whether it's to use it for yourself or to reach out and help other people. So grounding, super key. Feeling ungrounded, you may feel like a little anxious, your heart rate might be higher, you may have that feeling of a bit of adrenaline in your body if you're familiar with that. You may feel like you're taking more shallow breaths, you may feel scattered. When you're grounded, you feel calm, you feel present, you feel centered, you feel aligned, you feel in your body in the present moment. So grounding is super key just for everyday living. Next thing we will do is run some energy through our energy system, energy field. and we will cleanse and clear the auric field. So the aura is this egg-shaped bubble that surrounds the body, and this is measurable through science. So some would call it the energy field, the auric field, and you have the ability to expand and contract this auric field. So if you walk into, you'll watch people now and you'll be like, ooh, their energy field is really contracted, or ooh, their energy field is really big. So if you walk into a party and someone comes in and they're like arms crossed and they're kind of like not sure, and they kind of like sneak into the room and nobody really sees them, it's a very contracted energy field. There's the polar opposite that walks into a party and is like, hey, what's up? Arms out, yelling, making lots of noise, connecting with people. That's a very big, expanded energy field. So you can choose how big or how small you make that energy field depending on if it is safe or not, and depending on if you want to open up and share or you want to stay closed. So that's a big thing. And you want to keep that energy field clean. So what happens is we get all these energy cords. You guys have probably heard of energy cords, where we're hooked up with other people. And I use the term enmeshment. That's how I see it more vibrationally, because it's not just like one cord. It's like people can take their energy field and invade your space. So it's like, here's your energy field, right? It goes like this. And then someone can like mesh into it and get entangled. And you're like, wait, where does mine start? Where does that person's end? We're just enmeshed. Like, I don't know what's mine. Am I feeling your energy? Am I feeling something? Like, I have no idea what's going on. It can get very confusing when your energy field has other people's energy in it. So you want to get your energy field clear and clean. That is one of the most important things for stepping into your own sovereignty, is not allowing outside influence to mess with your energy. And this is also really important if you want to use your intuitive gifts to help other people in service in any way. And if you haven't thought about that before, start thinking about it, because there's a reason why you're here. So, and you want to help someone, you need to put a hand on their energy field and go, okay, what does this feel like? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? What does it look like? What color is it? What does it feel soft and smooth and clean, or does it feel rough and bumpy and erratic, and does it look black? So you want to touch it and then remove yourself from the energy field. You don't want to get in their energy field, and you don't want to invite them into your energy field. A lot of people are trying to help, or maybe doing some intuitive work, but they're getting enmeshed, and it's not safe and it's not healthy for the person you're trying to help or for the person you are helping. I don't think I've had this experience personally, but I have had clients go to energy healers that have really dirty energy fields, and they come out feeling messed up and depleted. And so that's like, it's a cardinal sin as an intuitive or an energy healer, is to fuck with someone's energy, right? Don't fuck with someone's energy. So that's going to be important for keeping your energy field clean and clear. Then we're going to move into activating some of your channels. And so what's been shown to me is very specifically into the chakra system, how, and I'll explain this as we go into it, how they all connect through the pineal gland. And so how that information comes in, and then how the body translates it into sounds, vision, colors, feelings, knowingness, that kind of thing. So we'll move through all the four clairs, which are your clairsentience. That is your empathy, your ability to feel. That is my primary clair, my primary gift that I have had lifelong, that I did not know how to manage for a really long time. Your claircognizance, which is your knowing. And that one can be one of the trickiest ones to trust, because it's just, you just know, like you know, and that's one you have to kind of practice trusting. You have to practice trusting them all, but that one can be a little tricky because it's just a knowingness. Your clairvoyance, which is your ability to see. Some people will see with their eyes open, others will only see things with their eyes closed. So you see it more in your mind's eye than with your visual eyes. And then your clairaudience, which is your ability to hear. And so some people will hear music, sounds of nature, words, phrases, or full on like channeled, cataloged like books, right? People have channeled books that they create. So each of us has strengths in different clairs, but we can all work on developing each one of them so that we can become more empowered in each of our intuitive channels. I didn't used to have a lot of clairvoyance, but now I get a tremendous amount of clairvoyance. I get clairaudience more in words or short phrases. I have a lot of claircognizance that just it just spills out of me. That's why I don't prep too much, because I have a lot of claircognizance, which is cool. So yours will be unique. So if as we go through this, you don't feel anything, you don't see anything in your mind's eye, you're like, nothing's happening, I'm kind of in the dark. Don't feel like that's a bad thing. That's very typical, actually. That's more typical. I have had clients who started working with me and had no clairvoyance, like nothing. They're like, I see nothing. It's black, not a color, not an image, nothing. And then months later, as we're working together, they're getting very powerful visual clairvoyant imagery. So just know that even if nothing happens for you in these particular clairs today, it doesn't mean that you have not begun to open up or activate a channel that is going to, that you now are down a path, or maybe you have already started, and hopefully today will take you to the next level, that is going to move you into a more powerful ability to use that particular clair. And you may not use a particular clair, like clairsentience may not be your thing. You might not ever feel. You may just see, or you may just hear, or right. There's typically one that's most powerful, but they can all be typically developed. But you may, again, it's unique for everyone, right? It depends on our unique soul vibration and our unique remembering and where we are in our journey and how much we're ready to handle. A lot of my intuition did not come in until I was ready for it, because it's really powerful and it can be overwhelming if you don't know how to manage it. So turning it on and turning it off is very key. Don't just be open, because then you are getting information from all over the place all the time that A, you might not want, that's not good for you. And B, you could be opening yourself up to channels that are not healthy or productive, right? You could be opening yourself up to dark channels that you don't want to be messing with. So discernment and how you're using this is key as well. And then I have a feeling Archangel Chamuel is going to come in. I had a very powerful visitation with Archangel Chamuel when I was in a course similar to this, more in depth. I believe it was a Claire audience course. I could be wrong, but Archangel Chamuel showed up in my mind's eye, right? I'm in the room and I know I'm there, but he was like right in front of me and gave me this ball of golden healing energy. And the only words he said to me were, "Are you ready?" And I was just like, yes. Like, holy shit, yes. And so he gave me this golden energy that moved all through my body that was for me to use for my own healing and for me to share for energy healing for other people. And so we will see what comes through in that realm as well. But I did ask, is this something I should talk about? And it was like, yes, hell yes. Yes, girl, do it. Yes. So we'll see what happens there. All right. So if anyone has questions before we get started, please feel free to drop them in the chat box. Otherwise, we'll jump into the meditation and then I will leave some time for questions at the end. And it is 4:52. Okay, I'm right on schedule. This is a small miracle. All right. Let me take a drink real quick. I'm going to invite you guys to begin to close your eyes. And start to take a couple deep breaths. In through your nose. And out through your mouth. Whenever I'm asking for any intuitive guidance to come in, I like to hold my palms up in my meditation. It's another channel for receiving. Totally optional. It's just something that feels right for me. I also like to try and keep my spine in as good alignment as possible. My posture is not perfect. It doesn't, your posture does not need to be perfect, but you want to be stretching up because the channels come down through the crown of the head and move down to the base of the spine, and then vice versa, they also move up as well. So if you're sitting up tall, that is helpful. And I'm going to begin by inviting you to create a grounding cord that starts at the base of your spine. And you're going to start to send it down through your seat, down through the floor, through the foundation of your home or your office or wherever you may be, and start sending it down into the earth. And you can visualize this grounding cord as a rope. It may be a stream of energy like electricity. It might feel like a waterfall, more like running water for you. Or it may feel like a nice, strong, wide taproot. Taproot being like a carrot or a dandelion root. However your particular grounding cord looks like, just send it down deep, deep, deep into the earth. And as you keep sending that grounding cord down deeper and deeper, we're inviting the energy of Mother Earth to hold us on this three-dimensional earth plane. Hold us in our bodies, grounding us, and bringing us fully present into this moment. Continue to send that grounding cord down deeper and deeper, all the way down to the core of the earth, where you'll wrap that grounding cord around a beautiful crystal. And take note of what your unique crystal looks like. It may be a crystal that's familiar to you. It may be a crystal that you need to look up and find out what it is. So take note of the color, the shape. And now that you are deeply grounded into the earth, I'm going to invite you to begin to send some energy down that grounding cord. Just send some energy from your body down that cord to Mother Earth, starting to create connection, an energetic flow. You have an infinite abundance of energy in your body, and you're going to send some of it down there. And just begin to feel in your body if there are any areas of tightness or tension, any stress, anywhere you're holding. Just send that energy down the grounding cord, allowing you to become more deeply relaxed in the present moment. Again, breathing in deeply through your nose and exhaling, sending any energy that does not serve you down that grounding cord. We're asking that Mother Earth lovingly transmute that energy into the highest vibrations of love and light. And now we'll go a bit deeper. I'll invite you to draw your attention to the center of your head, right between your ears. And you're focusing your attention on the pineal gland. This is the gland that is the master of the intuition. This is like your radio receiver for your intuitive channels. It takes the energetic frequency of your clear channels and translates them into sounds, colors, pictures, feelings that the human body can recognize. Just going deeper into the center of the head and continuing to send energy down that grounding cord. One more deep inhale through the nose, going deeper inside yourself, and exhaling out the mouth. Now we'll begin to run some earth energy up through the soles of the feet, imagining that there's golden, sparkling energy coming up through the legs, past the knees, into the hips, running through the front of the root chakra, right at the base of the spine, out the back of that root chakra and down the grounding cord. So now we've created this beautiful circuit with Mother Earth where we're receiving Mother Earth's energy, allowing it to clean and clear our root chakra, grounding us into the safety and security of this present moment, and sending that energy out the back and down the grounding cord back to Mother Earth, where she will transmute any of those frequencies that are not serving our highest good. Releasing any frequencies that are holding us back, that we no longer need as we begin to move through our ascension process as individuals and as a collective. And as we ground deeper into our bodies, I'll ask that information come through today in this channeled meditation that is for our highest good. Those of us live on this call, those of us watching replay, and that this information is for the highest good of all those concerned, for the collective of mankind. We're going to begin to run some cosmic energy through our bodies now. So often we find ourselves relying on the very limited resources of the physical body. But if we can ground into Mother Earth and call in cosmic energy, which is an absolute infinite supply of energy, we can be far more productive by doing a lot less. So you're going to imagine that there's a ball of purple, cosmic light energy above your head. And make that purple ball as big or as small as you want it to be. It's up to you. Look at that ball of purple light. Feel it above your head. Know that it's there. Listen for any wisdom it is sharing with you. And begin to send some of that purple energy through the crown chakra, through the crown of the head, down the back of the head, and sending it down the energy channels on either side of the spine. That purple light flowing. And as it gets down to your hips, you're going to wrap that energy around the sides of the hips. Send it through the front of the root chakra, mixing with that golden earth energy. And then sending that purple energy out the back of the root chakra and down that grounding cord. So we're deeply connecting our physical, earthly experience with our higher levels of consciousness, our higher energetic frequencies and potentials. And then run that purple energy from the root chakra up the front channels of the body. So running up the front of the body, over the chin and the nose, and fountaining that purple energy out the crown of your head, just like a water fountain. And allowing that purple cosmic energy to cleanse your aura. So you may see that purple energy oozing and dripping around your aura, that egg-shaped bubble of energy around your body. You may see it spinning and swirling. You may see it spiraling around you. Just trust that whatever you see or feel or know is truth. Is exactly what you need to see, feel, know, and experience. And with the intention that that purple cosmic energy is cleansing your energy field, we're asking that that purple energy cut cords for us, cleansing, clearing our energy fields, and sending any lower vibrational energy or any foreign energy of good or malicious intent down that grounding cord. Where again, Mother Earth will transmute it in her infinite power and wisdom. And just keep running that energy around your auric field until it begins to feel cleaner and more clear. And look around your auric field. What do you see? Do you see spots of black? Do you see cracks? Do you see holes in your auric field? Do you see it only going part way down your body and your feet are sticking out? Adjust your auric field to perfectly encapsulate your body. And then choose the right level of expansion of that auric field. So right now, it may feel safe to be in a bit of an expanded auric field. Or it may feel safer to contract that field a little bit. Choose the expansion of your auric field that feels right for you right now. And recognize your own ability to adjust this field at any moment on any given day. And start to pay attention in your everyday life. When are you contracting and when are you expanding? And maybe you're opening yourself up when it's not a good idea. Or maybe you recognize now that in the past you have opened yourself up when it wasn't safe. Just begin to observe this. And then coming back into this present moment of this perfectly balanced auric field, which is now cleansed. And we're just being offered some assistance now from Archangel Metatron, who is just sharing this peaceful, soothing gray energy. It's coming up from the bottom of our auric fields. And it just feels like an even deeper level of grounding. Just take note that note for yourself as we move through this. What does your body feel like? What does your heart rate feel like? Do you feel areas of tension or tightness coming or going? Is it easier to take a deeper belly breath? Do you feel triggered in any way? Do you feel safe? Do you feel uncertain? Whatever you feel is not right or wrong, it just is, and allow it to be that, honor it. Let go of any expectations about what this meditation should feel like in your own mind. Allow it to be what it is. And Archangel Metatron is putting this this layer of protection on the inner walls of our auric field. So a lot of times we ask for bubbles of protection on the outside, but he's putting it on the inside. And what it's doing is helping us to stay more clear in our own truth. And it's helping us to become more calm and more grounded in the present moment. Archangel Metatron is one of the few archangels who ascended from human form. Most of the archangels were created as archangels. That's why their names end in EL, like Michael, Ariel, Raphael. But Metatron came from human form. And so he's been particularly helpful to me and has come through a lot for me because of this transition we're making, this ascension that we're in the process in, which Metatron is a master of the ascension process because he lived it, he's done it. And so he shows up a lot for me in my meditations because he's helping us navigate this human field and this expansion of our consciousness that is coming through that can be difficult to navigate. And he's very compassionate and understanding of the difficulties in clearing our past traumas from this life and from many lifetimes and from the collective. and from our family lines. So he's here to just create, to me, it feels like, it's like soft gray bunny fur. That's just like creating this softness in our auras that makes us feel safe and comfortable and cozy. It's like a warm blanket in this like beautiful pale gray, peaceful color. It's just a color of peace to me. So we'll thank Archangel Metatron for that layer of healing that we have here. It's just making it safe for us to go deeper. And then just being guided to move up into the clear channels that reside from the throat chakra up. And so I'll invite you again to bring your attention to the pineal gland in the center of your head. And I'll share the way I see the channels. You may see them differently. You may hear other healers talk about them differently. One is not more correct or less correct. It's just a difference in how we're each uniquely being shown. So just allow your experience to be what it is and trust that what you're seeing is seeing, feeling, knowing, hearing is exactly right. So let's send a little golden healing energy from Archangel Chamuel to that pineal gland first. So pineal gland has been, I don't want to use the word victim, but they're like, no, the word is victim. The pineal gland has been victim of a lot of wounding, intentional, community-wide, civilization-wide punishment for connection to the intuition, right? These are like the witch trials, for going against the grain. I get the Joan of Arc energy here that comes through, where she was really a warrior for the light at a very young age because her pineal gland and her intuition was so powerful. But when we are really connected to our intuition, it doesn't matter what happens in our external world, because we're really being guided by our inner world. And our inner world is what creates our external reality. And to some degree, not 100%, but to some degree, our inner world has a large influence on our external reality. And so when you can be guided by this powerful intuition, you can't be controlled. And so there has been direct or indirect and wounding to the pineal gland because of this intention to control and to gain power. So we're calling the power back to our pineal gland. And just feel that coming in. I see it coming in from all directions, from past lives, from energy that's been stolen from the pineal gland by intentional impurification of our food and water supply, by unintentional shaming of our intuitive channels when we were younger, or invalidation of our realities. Just call all that energy back to your pineal gland. Just watching these flecks of gold light come back into the pineal gland, replacing pieces that have been lost, activating pieces that have been shut down or turned off or tuned down, and creating this golden glow from the inside out of that pineal gland that no matter what attack is sent to the pineal gland, it can no longer be touched. Metatron coming in now with this layer of protection around the pineal gland that allows the pineal gland, this is what the gray energy is about, it allows the pineal gland to be active and vibrant, but it's almost putting this loving camouflage. It's like a camouflage around it so that you will not be targeted or attacked for being so connected to your intuition, because sadly in our lineage that has happened. So you may be awake and protected. And then let's each work through our own intuitive channels. So we're going to start with our claircognizance. And the claircognizance comes through the crown chakra. So the way I see is as like a funnel that opens up through the top of the point is in the pineal gland, and it opens up into this funnel and it catches the information that comes through the crown chakra above the crown of the head. And so just allow that information that channels in powerfully through the crown chakra to drip into the pineal gland, allowing that deep purple energy that comes from the cosmos, that comes from our higher selves, from God, source, universe, creator, to drip through that funnel into the pineal gland, where the pineal gland will translate it into this inner knowing. That knowing, like you know, like you know, like you know your truth. Like you know, like you know, like you know your next step. Like you know, like you know, like you know the thing you have to do, even if it doesn't make sense intellectually, even if it doesn't make sense or it is criticized by external sources. Trust that claircognizance, that inner knowing. Opening and feeding that channel into the pineal gland and allowing it to be as active as possible. Then drawing your attention outwards from both sides, right and left side of the pineal gland, 2 more funnels opening up to the clairaudient channels. So these are like, again, 2 funnels, narrow at the base, at the center of the pineal gland, and opening out like 2 ears, inviting in wisdom that we can hear. And oftentimes, most of the time, you're going to hear this inside your head. Your clairaudience is most often heard within the head. And that voice may sound like your own voice. If you are connecting with your higher self, that's the way my channel comes in most, is through my higher self. It may sound like a different voice if you are channeling other light beings. Or it may sound like your voice, but use strange words. Or sometimes use words and you go, I'm not sure I know the meaning of this word, but I'm going to say it. Or like I said, my brain went, I don't want to use the word victim, but the voice in my head said, use the word victim. So I said, okay. And that's what I say. So just inviting in, opening these channels, and let's send some golden light from the pineal gland out, opening, activating, spiraling, filling those channels all the way out to their maximum capacity, inviting our clairaudience to come in full strength. And then we'll send another channel out from the front of the pineal gland through the third eye, right between the eyebrows. Another funnel, narrowest at the pineal gland, opening out through the forehead, inviting in our clairvoyance. And let's invite a rainbow in: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet, so that we may invite in all the colors. And behind that comes symbols, letters, shapes, images of nature, animals, beautiful scenery, foods, all of God's creatures and creations, so that whatever image we need will clearly come through that clairvoyant channel. Allowing that energy to continue to fill the third eye. And as we open these channels, ask yourself if you're feeling anything. At one point, I felt heat at the top of my head. Now I feel a tingling between my eyes. I really feel this channel opening and working. You may feel pressure. You may feel goosebumps. You may feel warming, a cooling, a breeze. Trusting that clairsentience. And we'll move now into the clairsentience by creating a funnel from the pineal gland, narrowest at the base of the pineal gland, and opening down into the body, sort of at the throat level. So our clairsentience can come through our feeling, our empathy. You may feel a lump in the throat. You may need to cough. You may want to yawn. You may feel a warming or a tightness in the chest as these feelings from the body, the body intuition comes in. You may feel tingling or warmth in the hands. You may feel the tightness or tension or the sadness of someone else. You may feel the emotions in the heart. Joy, love, sadness, anger, fear. You may feel a knot in your stomach, pressure in your bladder, pain in a certain knee. Just inviting in the body wisdom to come into the pineal gland so that every feeling, physical, emotional, is clearly channeled into the pineal gland and able to be translated into action steps. So we've warmed up, opened up, activated, created more movement through all these channels. And we ask that as our intuition comes in, we invite in only information of the highest good. We invite in only information that serves love, compassion, joy, and light on this earth plane. And we ask that no information come in. We ask for a bubble of protection around us that blocks any low vibrational energy, any fear energy, any dark energy. We accept only the highest vibrations of love and light into our intuitive channels. And we'll ask that each of us are gifted with a protection angel who will sit around these channels, protecting us, keeping us safe, and who will alert us if there is any possibility of dense, low vibrational energy trying to access us. And we'll ask that this protection angel will also guide us to proper support and proper energy clearing from the right practitioners, energy workers, healers for us to support us in maintaining this clean, clear energy field in these highly activated intuitive channels. Breathing that energy in. And then moving down into our hearts, into our solar plexus, just a couple inches above the belly button. And I'm going to invite you to open your solar plexus chakra to about 90% of its capacity. You may feel a real surge of energy move through your body when you do this. The solar plexus is your center for power, so adjust as necessary. 90% feels like too much for me. It's giving me like a pain in my stomach, so I'm going to go down to 50%. I already had my solar plexus very activated, so it was like, wah! So 50%, choose your percentage. Recognize that you have the power to control the activity in each energy center. So when you want to do healing work, when you want to work with your intuition, you want to open your solar plexus. It's your center for personal power. Also going to invite you to open your heart chakra right at the center of your chest. Big and wide. Powerful, compassionate, loving, joyful, sweet, connected, able to give and receive love freely, able to live in compassion for those who are suffering, compassion for yourself when you are suffering. And if you would like to receive energy healing for yourself, open these channels and send that energy through your body. I'm going to allow you to send this energy through your body the way you see it, feel it, know it, hear how it should go. I'm going to let you take the reins on this. So send that healing energy through your body. And if there's a particular loved one that you would like to send some of this healing energy to as well, just imagine them in your mind's eye. Make sure this is someone who would willingly or has willingly given you permission to send them healing. You can beam that energy out at them through the hand chakras. So that healing energy that you have started to send around your body, send it down your arms now and out your hand chakras. And I am sending all of you, live and replay, this healing energy, channeled through the solar plexus and the heart, down my arms and out my hand chakras. And as I do this, I feel a warm hug from Archangel Chamuel, who, as I mentioned, taught me these energy healing techniques. It's like he reaches his arms into mine and his hands become mine, and this golden energy, right now mixed with the green energy from the heart chakra, is beaming out to each of you, hitting you each in your heart chakra. And you may choose to receive if it's what you need. You may choose to receive or send that energy out to a particular loved one or to the human collective. And let's just take a moment here to each, and thank you. I feel you guys sending that energy to me. You make me cry. Let's just take about 30 seconds to a minute here and just allow this energy to flow and move. Sending, giving, receiving this healing energy. If at any point you get overwhelmed, because this is a lot of energy moving through the body, make sure you're sending your grounding cord down. And you can always adjust your heart and your solar plexus a little smaller. You can turn down those intuitive channels if it's too strong. Or if you're wishing for more feeling that's not coming yet, go to your prayer. Ask your guides, guardian angels, God, source, universe to send more healing energy through to you. Ask that they help you open your intuitive channels. And as you do this, you may feel called to move. Just go with whatever feels right for you. You may feel called to be still. Trust. It's unique for each of us. I'm going to invite you now to come back to your body. We're going to begin to shrink that solar plexus chakra back down to about 30% or whatever feels right for you for your day-to-day activities. You want to be in your power and feeling grounded and confident, but not overly confident or running too much energy and exhausting your adrenals through that channel. So find your happy place. Mine is about 30%. And then come to your heart chakra and bring that back down to, well, let's say 60 or 70%. That feels like a good place for me to live, where I'm open but not over giving or depleting myself. Maybe 60% for me. Feel into the right space for you. And then we're just going to turn down those intuitive channels. They're not turned off again. We're just turning them down. And we're going to turn off all this. We just created very open, powerful auric fields. If you check your aura, mine feels extremely expanded because I just reached out to a whole lot of you. Live replay, not on this call, coming into my world, maybe never coming into my world. But so I'm going to now ask that my aura comes back. So it's maybe a foot or so around the edge of my body, a comfortable place. It's going all the way down, covering my feet. Play with your aura and find the space that feels right for you. If you have to go out into the world after this, you may want to close it down smaller. If you get to stay and integrate for an hour, maybe you want to keep it bigger. Again, you have control over your energy field. We're going to draw our attentions back to that grounding cord, sending it down, 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 down. Check your crystal and make sure you are still anchored to the earth. Check if that crystal has changed colors, if there's a new message for you, if it looks different, feels different, sings to you in a different way, has a word written on it for you or a symbol. Look for all of these signs. The universe speaks to us in symbolism because human word is so limited. We think the human word has such a huge vocabulary, but compared to the energy of the universe, we're like a fly on the planet Earth. Our human language is so limited. What we can see, feel, know, hear is far more expansive. And so sometimes when you're opening these intuitive channels, it's hard to describe what you see, and it's hard to write what you feel, and it's hard to describe how you know. But what's most important is just that it's in you, and not that you need to necessarily put it all out there, but that you can connect to it and be in it. So just bringing you back into your bodies again, taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time, grounding, checking that your heart and your solar plexus chakra feel appropriate for what you are about to go into after we finish this. Checking those channels, so the crown, the ears, the third eye, and the throat, the body, and setting them to a pace that feels acceptable. You may want to completely turn them off. If you have to go have dinner with your family, you may want to turn them off completely. And I'm going to close the window on this energy healing, giving our thanks to Archangel Metatron and Archangel Chamuel for coming through, asking that any healing that started today will continue on as long as it is needed to bring us to our highest possible potential of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And so it is. Beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes. When you're ready, opening your eyes and coming back to the room. How do you guys feel? Tell me in the chat box. That was exactly what I needed. If you have questions, please pop them in the chat box. If you had a profound experience, please share it. Amazing, so good. Yeah, I feel so good. I had a real, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I had a real moment this morning, and I just recorded it and cried and put it on the internet because it's not all just love and light, calm and centered, awesome. More clear, more guidance. Yeah, it's so good. And so you guys, you could obviously come back and listen to this recording anytime. You're going to get an email. It's going to go on my website and on YouTube. Felt Joan of Arc's present. Yeah. So cool. Before I mentioned her. So cool. I love that. I know, I'm like, Joan popping in again. I haven't talked to Joan for a while. So yeah, you can come back to this anytime. You can practice this in your own time. You have control over your energy fields. We've not been taught that though. We have more grounded than you have in days. Yay. Nobody's taught us how to do this, right? Like a little bit, like some deep breathing and like some meditation is becoming more popularized, but you have massive control of your energy field. And if you can get into these practices, you don't need to do a full blown, that was about 40-minute meditation every day. You can do 2 minutes before you get on a call with someone. But when you go to sometimes when you go to the bathroom is a great time to ground because you have a moment where you're not doing anything else. Hopefully. You might have kids at your ankles. But yeah, get in the habit of grounding yourself and running these energies before you go to sleep at night. I do it before every client session. It's really, really powerful. And the more you can stay grounded in a clear energy field, you're going to create space for those intuitive channels to open up. And you don't know what's going to come in. Like, you don't know what your gifts are yet. Like mine keep growing and expanding. And so where I was a year ago, where I am now, massively different. And where I'll be in another year, 5 years, will be massively more powerful. So practice with this. It's really, really important. And if you guys want to do more, if you want to learn more about this, I'm doing it's a 6 to 8 week, I don't know. It's 6 weeks of teaching, and then you're in the container for an extra 2 weeks, and I do a bonus teaching. But I'm doing a 6 to 8 week course called Sacred Chakra Healing Certification. And it's about going deep into this practice where you learn more about grounding. You learn about the energy that runs through each of the 7 major chakras. You get better at controlling the activity of each chakra. You're going to learn about sending energy healing through each of the chakras, which is going to be about clearing out past trauma, clearing out what you're holding from your Akashic records, releasing all the stuff that's kind of holding us in these lower vibrations and supporting you in your ascension process as we all travel on the path to enlightenment. I once was like, man, enlightenment, that's wild. I wish I could do that. And then I was like, no, claim it. You're going to reach enlightenment. Maybe in this life. I want to say in this lifetime. I don't know if I want to reach enlightenment in this lifetime. It might make it really hard to live in amongst humanity. But claim it, you know, you want to reach enlightenment for your soul. So in this workshop, in this course, we're going to be diving deep into even more awakening and developing your intuitive channels. So we're going to do a whole day on clairvoyance, a whole day on clairaudience, a whole day on claircognizance. I have an outline, right? But it's going to come through as it organically comes through. We're going to work on connecting to your spirit guides, angels, the goddesses, the ascended masters, your higher self. When I channel, I primarily channel my higher self. But I do connect with a few archangels who've really been teachers for me, but your guides may be the goddesses. Joan of Arc tends to come through for me. Like not the goddess I would have chosen, but she's the one that comes through, right? I want like a really glamorous one with like gowns and hair, but it's okay. I love you, Joan. Yeah, we're going to dive into each of the chakras. So you're going to get a 3-part video training that goes deep into the chakras, crystals, essential oils, all the aspects for that. We're going to go deeper into energy healing techniques. I have promised an energy healing activation, which is going to come through Archangel Chamuel. I know that. I feel that gift that was given to me is my role now to facilitate Archangel Chamuel coming directly to you to give you that gift as well. It may come through in a different way, but there is going to be an energy healer activation so that you can use that to heal your own self. And if you feel called to work on other people, and that might mean just working on your loved ones or your dear friend, or it may mean turning that into part of a spiritual practice that you have that you get to be compensated for. So the energy healing training is going to be a part of that. You're also going to get a really amazing 12-page PDF that gives you all the details on all the chakras, when they're in balance, when they're out of balance, what kind of physical symptoms can show up from that, how to heal those particular chakras, and journaling questions for each chakra. So you can kind of identify which ones are really feel in balance for me and which feel really out of balance and do I need to do some healing work on. I'm going to also be diving into how to hold space and create safe containers. So hopefully all of you felt really safe going super deep, and you got to go deeper than maybe you have recently or deeper than maybe you ever have. That's really important for your own healing, is be able to hold space for yourself and get more deep into your truth. So that you can do your healing work. And then how do you do that for other people? How do you set and hold safe containers where people feel they can go deeper themselves and hold space for themselves? And, trauma healing, there's trauma healing that's going to come up through this stuff. And it's really important. It's really powerful. And doing that work myself has been the key to radically changing my life and really just feeling grounded and aligned and centered and powerful in my life, feeling as close to sovereignty as I've ever felt. Do I have a ways to go? Yeah, there's boundaries you have to set. There's lessons you have to learn, but I'm as close to complete and total sovereignty as I've ever been. And it's really magnificent. And it allows you to really become a master co-creator in your life. So you get to feel whole and be centered and grounded, and you get to share that with other people, and you get to be compensated for it, and you get to live in abundance of love and joy and support and fun. Like, I'm a fun girl. I like to go out and have fun. Like, too much fun sometimes. And and you get to have financial abundance, right? This is abundance is our birthright when we can get into a clean, clear energy field, and we can have good boundaries, and we can hold space for ourselves, and we can serve our life mission and soul purpose. So this is to support your own healing. And then if you want to put it out there into the world, you have the option to get a certificate of training. So this is going to be the level 1 chakra training, which will be the gateway into deeper certifications. But this is going to be the first round, which is super, super exciting. And so to get the certificate of completion, you have to do 5 practice chakra readings, where you are going to connect, you're going to ground, you're going to do this whole process more quickly. You're going to connect to someone else's energy, and you're going to look at their chakras. You're going to look, you're going to hear, you're going to know, and you're going to feel into what's going on in their energy field. And you're going to use that energy healer activation to help shift that into a better space for them. So it's really fun. It's really exciting. When I started, I was guided into chakra readings. I'd worked with a number of healers, and I kind of pulled pieces from what I liked about each of them. And then as I launched this into my world, this is the thing that like blew up my not even my follow, it blew up my practice. It was more people coming in. It was a tremendous amount of referrals. It got overwhelming, honestly. Like, I got way too busy. I started getting booked out like 2 months, and I was like, oh shit, I can't do this. This is too much. But this is the thing. And it wasn't about how many followers I had on Instagram or how many people I had on my email list. It was about dropping into my authenticity and really letting those intuitive channels speak. And so, so again, you can use this for yourself, but if you want to turn this into a part of a spiritual practice that you get compensated for, that potential is out there. And there is a huge need. Like I said, I got tapped out really quickly. Like, I had to create a ton of boundaries because I was getting booked way too far out. And then I had clients in packages, and I was like, oh no, where do I put them? Like, I don't have any more room in my schedule. So there's a huge need, and a reason why I'm being called to do this certificate of training and to do things like the business mastermind that I run is because my ability to serve has been maxed out. And so now I'm being called to teach the teachers, to heal the healers, to guide the guiders, to bridge the bridgers, show the way showers how to step into doing this work themselves and using it to create the life that you desire. So it's really fun. It's really exciting. If you feel called to this at all, feel free to reach out to me. We start on Monday, July 12th, and the classes are 3 to 4:15 Eastern. They're all recorded if you can't make it live. And you also get a one-to-one chakra reading and healing from me. Whoa, one of the most fun parts. So this is one of the only ways to get a one-to-one session with me right now if you're not in a mastermind or a previous client in a 6-month package. So it's really powerful to get a reading and a healing for yourself. And then you can see how that translates into creating your own unique way of reading the chakras or your own unique way of doing energy healing. This is all about not me saying this is how you do it. This is about me guiding you through, here's how you open your channels, and here's how you get connected to your ability to send energy healing. And then you massage it and work with it and make it into what it is for you. Some people may be doing this work through food. Some people may be doing this work in combination with like if you're a psychic medium, but you want to bring more healing and not just transfer of information. This may come through if you are a Reiki practitioner, but you want to go deeper. You may just be a mother and you want to use this for your children or your grandchildren. So it can be used and it can transform, and it's going to mold into whatever way you are meant to use it. So it's not a very rigid, strict, this is divine feminine healing all the way. It's powerful and it's delightful and it's really fun. And it has been the biggest life changer for me. And I'm so just ecstatic to share this with the world. So if you guys have questions about that, feel free to DM me on Instagram, email me through my website, wherever. But thank you so much for joining me. If you have questions, you can pop them in the chat box. That was like really a powerful healing for me too. Like I felt your energy coming back at me. I was like, oh, I get some too. So that was amazing. So thank you for coming, and know that I just want to reiterate, if you didn't get a lot coming in, that's okay. That's normal. It's coming. I promise you. I had a moment when I first started my awakening and I first started my healing, and I was like, I want to do what the healer I was working with does. And I was like, but I'll never be able to do that. There's no way. And now I can do that in my own way. And that was years ago. But so if it's something that you desire, know that it's in you, it's part of you. You just have to remember how to do it. And at the very least, listen to this again or practice the techniques that we talked about, and you will start to activate those channels and get to change your life with it. So thank you, ladies, so much for coming live and replay. Replays, you are just as important, if not more important. And just sending you guys lots of love, and please stay connected. Bye.
Bye, Rachel.